So I'm sure many of us late at night have seen the truckers park along the ramps on the highways late at night. If a woman is forced into that situation, that can be pretty dangerous.
Usually big trucks used to park on the side of the ramp. It was almost like a broke back mountain type situation.
What? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving you the history of trucking.
Is that almost a bit of hypocrisy then, with women wanting to sort of tout this, I can do anything a man can do, but then also expecting or wanting certain accommodations in a male-dominated space for the simple fact that they are women? Do you find that women truckers come in with a sense of entitlement or expectation for being expecting these accommodations?
I don't know if so much they expect it, but they definitely gonna take advantage of it.
Welcome to Azigos, where we talk raw, real, and unfiltered about the trucking industry, the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we don't just leave it there. We also empower those ready to reclaim and drive the future of the trucking industry. On today's episode, we have a great discussion. We're talking and discussing, should women be in the trucking industry? So come on into the lounge. That's Azigos, the Truckers Lounge. What's up, KT? How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Great day to wake up and be alive and be able to discuss an interesting topic. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. I made it here. A trucker die every day on the road.
And that's very unfortunate. But as you said, you made it here.
Yes, it's a beautiful thing.
Okay, so we have a great topic. As I mentioned, we are going to be discussing, should women be in the trucking industry? So we're going to break it down. We're going to discuss arguments against women being in the trucking industry, and we're going to counter those discussion points, those arguments. And by the end of this episode, we hope you'll have a full picture and not just the stereotypes. So we may rattle a few gears, but hang in there, and we should have a great discussion. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. So one of the first arguments people throw out is trucking is too dangerous for women. They say long hours, remote truck stops, and late night deliveries aren't safe.
Right.
All right, so what is your first response to that?
Everything that they said right there is very true, but I guess some of that stuff you can work around it. You know what I mean? I think it's a very big difference between putting a young lady or a female into a big company who has newer equipment versus working for a small company who has older equipment.
Well, but first let's talk about the remote stops, though.
Well, that's all added into it, because when you're trying to make your deliveries and, you over the road or whatnot, a lot of time you have to deal with remote truck stops, but that's only one half of it, because, of course, we know that America and the United States hasn't provided adequate enough truck parking. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, the truck stops and the rest areas for trucks, they fill up pretty quick. If you're not there by 6 o'clock, or 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
right,
then it's a high probability that you're not going to even be able to get into a remote truck stop.
Okay.
So it's not just dangerous for, remote truck stop. It's not just a dangerous situation. You might have a situation where, not just a female, but a male, you might have to park in the middle of anywhere where you can find a space to park 70 feet.
So I'm sure many of us late at night have seen the truckers park along the ramps on the highways late at night. If a woman is forced into that situation, that can be pretty dangerous. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. It can be pretty dangerous. You know what I mean?
And typically, are drivers doing that because they couldn't find parking and
a lot of times, but I want to give you the etymology of that.
Okay.
See, like I told you, you know, I'm from it. I've been a couple of decades, I've been driving trucks.
Okay.
Really, there was a time, you know what I mean? I'm going to tell you the gruesomeness of it all. Usually big trucks used to park on the side of the ramp. It was almost like a broke back mountain type situation.
What? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm giving you the history of trucking.
Okay.
So usually back in the day, when you're talking about like the 80s, late 80s, the 70s, when a truck parked on the side of the off ramp, it was signaling to another trucker that, you know, I'm into, you know, all type of curricular activities.
Okay.
And they would park behind each other to seem unassuming, but that's the way they used to signal each other. Of course, that's not exactly what it is today, but that is the beginning.
Oh, interesting.
Very dangerous, though.
Okay.
In so many different ways.
Okay.
Depending on what you like.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And then late night deliveries, you know, having to go into these warehouses late at night, third shift, fourth shift at the shippers and receivers. As a woman, you know, you're going into male dominated spaces. That can be very dangerous, right?
Yeah, it could be very dangerous. It ain't no could. It's, you know, trucking because you're isolated.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're isolated. You are in the world, but not of it.
Right.
You're seeing everything behind the windshield, you know what I mean, in your office.
Okay.
As you go from place to place. And a lot of people, you know, they understand that vulnerability, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it is nothing for predators out there to maybe try to take advantage of the situation.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's very dangerous.
So women, if you're watching this, we would like to hear from you. How do you handle yourselves with your late night deliveries and the remote truck stops? So, you know, what are some of the strategies that you use to keep yourself safe? Do you carry a piece on you? Is that allowed if you're working for a carrier for you to carry?
Most mega carriers or things like that, it's in the bylaws that you know you can't carry a weapon.
Oh, interesting.
But if you want to talk about Department of Transportation level, you know, it's just like you just gonna have to know the rules from state to state.
Okay.
Whatever their gun laws is. So if you're going over the road passing through different states, you know, it's not automatically every state don't have the same gun laws.
Okay. All right. So it's a challenge out there. All right. So let's move on to a second argument against women being in the trucking industry. And that is, it's too physically demanding, that women can't handle the physical demands with tarping, chaining, heavy lifting. But arguably, trucking today isn't what it was 40 years ago. You know, there's a lot of technology. There's lift gates, forklifts, and better equipment, you know, and those things have changed the game. And women are already excelling in flatbed, tanker, and long haul. So it's not about the brute strength, that women really do have the skill and precision and endurance to be able to handle it. What is your response to that? How heavy, you know, is it with the tarping and the chaining and that kind of thing?
Basically, there's somebody who's making that point of view that's obviously not all the way into trucking.
Okay.
You know, because, yeah, technology, you know what I mean? Yeah, technology has improved certain situations. You know, every situation ain't gonna be perfect. Sometimes, you know, you might have to hook up to a trailer, you know what I'm saying, where the landing gear is rusty. I can't tell you how many times that I've been at a drop yard or whatnot, and especially when you're dealing with containers, where I don't have to help a young lady or somebody of the feminine persuasion get their landing gear up.
Really? Will they ask, or do you just see them struggling and you just volunteer?
Sometimes it's been a situation where they ask. Sometimes it's been a situation where I just witnessed them struggle. Right.
Okay.
And I don't mind helping, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I almost look at, you know, big trucks as a fraternity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would, you know, I don't mind helping the female, but it's just something as simple as that.
And in those situations, do you normally see men who may have witnessed it and kept walking?
Definitely, man. You know, because men ain't, you know.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I feel about making America great again, but we don't want to go down that road.
Yeah,
So,
so I would
but we
like to.
got different type of men than what we have from, you know, my era.
Okay, so I would like to hear from the men too in the comments. If you see a woman who is in trucking struggling with her landing gear, is your initial reaction, hey, I don't mind helping? Or is your reaction, hey, she decided to do this, she should figure it out?
Yeah, she came into a man's world.
She came into a man's world.
Right.
Is that how you look at and feel? And so you keep walking? I'll be interested to hear from you.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That would be interesting.
But if you see dread out there, young ladies, man, and you struggling, man, don't hesitate to ask. You know, I help y'all back up in tight situations, lift your landing gear. It just depends what I got going on, but.
And I would like to hear from the women, how easy or difficult is it for you to get help in situations like that where you do need kind of some brute strength and you don't quite have it?
I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna depend, you know, the eye of the beholder. Yeah. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? If you're looking lovely lady, you know, men they ain't got no problem with helping you. Yeah.
Wow.
But, you know, if you got that big back, you know, it might be a little different.
Does that go into the whole pretty privilege thing? A woman needs to feed into her pretty privilege?
Hey, this day and age, you know, I might get a handsome privilege. You know, I only pay for coffee 50% of the time now. So shoot, hey.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the modern world.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So then, all right, another argument against women being in the trucking industry is that they don't fit into the culture, that, you know, it's a man's world. But really, in fact, data suggests that about 12% of all professional drivers are women and that the number is climbing every year, and that we really should recognize the value of diversity, and that, you know, there are fewer turnover rates. You know, they have strong safety records. So if anything, women aren't disrupting the culture. You know, arguably one could say they're upgrading it. So in essence, women add value to the trucking industry. What's your response to that? Is it sort of a boys' world, and are men resistant to women entering the trucking industry?
I don't necessarily think that men are resistant to it, but let's get it straight. It is a man's world because what's not being revealed in those statistics. A lot of time companies, because they know they're dealing with a female, they kind of be more catering, or, you know what I'm saying, try to make it as easy as possible to incentivize them to stay. You know what I mean? They kind of use their executive decision making to keep women out of certain situations. It's no different than just like, even if you're talking about like the police force. If you pay attention, women police officers don't make road stops by themselves. You know what I mean? They always gonna have a male presence there. You know what I mean? And that ain't being chauvinistic. You know, they're just using common sense. You know what I mean? You know, you think more of resistance or danger or protection or whatever when it comes to more of the masculine fellow. A lot of them are being retained a little bit longer because they're not actually expecting the woman to do certain routes or certain deliveries that's more, you know, physical or more dangerous. They kind of try to let them do the leftover stuff they need to be done, but it's not quite as dangerous.
So is that almost a bit of hypocrisy then, you know, with women wanting to sort of tout this, I can do anything a man can do, but then also expecting or wanting certain accommodations in a male-dominated space for the simple fact that they are women. Do you find that women truckers come in with a sense of entitlement or expectation for being expecting these accommodations? Do you see that? And
I
women,
don't know if so much they expect it, but they definitely gonna take advantage of it. And I gotta let you lady truck drivers know, and I love y'all and all that good stuff. But you know, you can't expect chivalry in the truck driving, in the trucking world all the time, in the trucking industry. And I give you an example real quick.
Okay.
One time there's a situation, I was going to make a right into the warehouse, and a lady truck driver was trying to make a left, but it was tight onto like the main road. And the situation was, it was the right move would have been for her to back up. You know what I mean? Because she's already in the warehouse, and it wouldn't have been less dangerous for me to back off back into the main road. And we were kind of like at a standstill.
Okay.
Because she thought that I should go out of my way and make a more dangerous maneuver just to give her the courtesy, almost like I'm supposed to hold the door open for her.
Okay.
And you have a lot of situations like that, or you got the situation where you at a, what do you call them, type of warehouses, distribution center. Sometimes they bring, they set appointment where everybody come in at the same time. So you know you're trying to get out of there as soon as possible, and you have a situation where they're assigning doors,
Right.
and it might be a warehouse where it's tight. And I done seen a lot of females might need extra time to back up to their door. But the problem is with you backing up to that door, you holding up truck flow.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm trying to hurry up and get connecting to get to my door, because I'm not trying to be there all day.
Okay.
You follow me? I'm trying to get that green light as soon as I'm trying to get that red light and then that green light as soon as possible.
Right.
With the trailer lock and the unlock.
Right.
And so the more time I gotta wait,
Right.
you see, you got a line of trucks.
Right.
You know what I mean? You gotta, you gotta get to a situation. I know backing can be difficult in tight situations, but it's all about perfecting your craft.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's been situations like that where I seen women get frustrated, and then we have to hop out and try to help them.
Wow. Okay.
Back up into the tight spot, because you got a line of truck behind you trying to get past you to get to their door.
Okay.
See, a man, he might, if he doing that, he might get cussed out. Oh, he gonna get them look like, man, what the hell? Man, hey, man, you need to turn in them CDLs. You know what I mean? He might get a couple of harsh words, but you're not gonna quite do that.
Okay.
With the woman,
Right.
who's having trouble backing up into that hole.
Okay. So there's still, some deference given to women, and although they shouldn't expect it, they are still sometimes getting it, and sometimes there isn't an acknowledgement.
I mean, I really think they expect it, because it's the culture.
It's the culture.
It's the culture over in it's the Western culture. So I mean, it ain't. I don't think it's a bad culture. I think men supposed to protect the women and the children.
Right. Okay.
So that's why you have a slippery slope.
Yes.
When you allow females for equal opportunity to get in such a dangerous industry.
And I can appreciate that, but isn't it just a little bit aggravating though when women exploit that though, wouldn't you say?
I'm long past that, so at that point, the only way you can get power against something that you can't control is to ignore it.
Okay. All right.
That's where I'm at with it.
All right. So that's our episode. So really the take-home message is, sure, this industry is big enough to have women a part of it. They add value to it. But, women should just be mindful when they're entering, this industry in this space that, it may not be the chivalry that they're looking for, that they should enter it knowing that they may be treated as a male counterpart when they're encountering situations that are challenging for them.
One thing I want to say, though, that I got to give credit to the women is that when I'm talking about a super trucker, and some of y'all know what that term means, you know what I mean? I've never seen a woman out on the road be a super trucker.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She's definitely respecting the power of the tractor trailer. And she still drives with some sense. Every super trucker I've seen has been my male counterpart.
Okay.
And sometimes myself.
Oh.
So I got to give kudos. So, safety-wise for us driving, it seems like they always have a level of fear and respect of the truck, and they drive it,
Okay. Well, actually, that's a good point. Before I end it, because
Take your
Warner
time.
and Snyder report higher safety ratings among women behind the wheel.
You're
So
damn right, because
there it is.
they always are scared of that big truck. They keep a healthy respect and feel for it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, you've been like me, man. You've been driving over 2 decades. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Sometimes I'm gonna treat that thing like a Mustang.
Okay. All right. So that's it for our
No, I'm
episode
just playing.
today. Please comments below about
Right.
women, your experience being in the trucking industry, men, your experience in, interacting with women in the trucking industry. We'll love to hear from you.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I got something else I want to say.
Okay. We're
I
watching
know
the
we're watching the
time.
time, but this is important. Don't underestimate the animalistic nature of the man when he out there on that road, because a lot of truckers, these upstanding citizens, Brooks Brothers type of guys, J.C. Penney type of guys, and you have the women, they dressing in what they feel comfortable in. And that's why I say it's so dangerous, because when they have on what they have on and they comfortable, and it just a man is just being a man. And if he don't know how to monitor his animal, the thoughts come across his head. I want to really let you know, and I'm not telling you this just to be funny, but women, you out there dealing with men with the animal instincts, and you wearing certain stuff that you wear of a revealing nature. I know you might feel comfortable in it, but I definitely want to let you know, and it's dangerous for men as well, but definitely be vigilant and understanding that you are in the industry that is dangerous, you know what I mean, with a lot of predators in it.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Until next time, we'll see you in the lounge. Izzy goes to Truckers Lounge. Take
All
care.
right, if you see me out there, ladies, honk your horn. If you need any type of help, because I'll help you.
All right. See you next time.
No expectations.
Take care.